everyone, and welcome to another Sims video. Today I'm going to do something I've been seeing around and I find these videos extremely interesting. Basically, we're going to be doing how I make my Sims. I've gotten a couple compliments on my Sims, mostly on Instagram, but that's because that's where my style is more seen, because I don't really... It's slowly been leaking into my YouTube, but it's way more obvious when you see pictures every day. I just want to show you what my process is making the Sims, so let's get into it. Okay, so to start off with, I always randomize a couple of times to gather some inspiration. I don't know, I really liked the first one. Go back a lot. Go back a lot. And I always do this because I just never know where to start. So I like getting the vibe of a sim and then just flowing with it. Now, what I tend to do is I just pretty much take off everything that I can. First up, presets. If you don't know, presets are these things right here. But if you also didn't know, you can have custom content ones. Also, don't question all of my eyes. Half of them are mine, half of them are from a collab coming up, don't worry about it. But there are custom content ones. So they basically, it's just different eye shapes. And then you can even still go in and tweak them yourself. So I'm going to go ahead and pick one. I kind of like this one. And I don't think I'm going to tweak it too much because I really like it. So up next, we go with nose. Again, I have custom content presets, so let's pick one. Okay, we've got our nose. This one is by Peachy Fairy. And it's just like a cute little button nose. And this is something I absolutely adore about presets is they do go for some weirder shapes. Like, not weird in a bad sense. I never mean it that way. But like, not the beauty standard. So it's got like a little bump in it, and I find that so like adorable, and I love those. I love it so much. It just gives more character, which is what I tend to go for. But that's our little nose, and let's do lips. Lips are the last thing that I have presets in. I know there's presets for like other parts of the face, but I don't really lean towards those because I just tweak those personally, but let's pick some lips. Okay, and I like these ones. These ones are by, I think, Yuno. Now that we have all our presets, I like to go in and fine tune. Cause this face is cute and all, but it's very basic because I just used presets and that's it. So let's do some fine tuning. Now, let's get into skin details. I tend to always lean toward the same skin details over and over again, but like tweaking a couple pieces, which is why the eyes, nose, and lips are very important to start off with, because that's really what's going to change my Sims, because my bases are always like very similar. I tend to start from the bottom up, aka we take this, yeet. I know a lot of custom content fanatics are going to be at my throat. I don't have the like separators solely because I wish it was just a line instead of like, oh, it's a title card, and I know that it's all we can do at this moment in time. But if there's not like a line of distinction, I'm not gonna know where it starts and where it ends. And also, before I got all of this new CC from this collab, I didn't need those separators because I just knew where everything was and I knew what could go where. I think I'll need to invest in them after this video. But one thing that I've started doing more recently is this Miss Blue skin tone set. All it does is add some shine and some warmth to the sim because it basically adds a little bit of blush, I think. Yeah, just a little bit. And then up we go. I get comments on this a lot. I make my Sims a very shiny. Well, it's very shiny to me, but there's a lot of shines that go on them. I tend to use a lower opacity, but I tend to use a lot of shine, like shiny details in my Sims. And here is the first one by Peachy Fairy. Basically, it's just a highlight that highlights the high points of the face. And then this is the opal highlighter that gives shine to the face. See, two different things. One's highlighting, which just is bringing brightness. The other one is actually making her look shiny. But I never go with this one anymore because I don't like what it does to like the eyebrow and the cheekbone and the inner corner because it makes it look like there's bags. And that's fine, it's just not my style. So I tend to lean for this bottom one down here, which mostly just does inner eye corners, the nose, and the Cupid's bow, a little bit of the chin, which is what I prefer. And then I might turn the opacity down if it bothers me, but it doesn't, so we eat it up. And then up next is, this is where my Sims differ a lot, and I highly suggest it if you're having a bit of the same face syndrome, is nose masks. Because yes, you could have like a favorite nose preset, but you can change up what that nose looks like using nose masks. And I have this just nose pack. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's got like a lot of different noses in it. And because after you put so many skin details on, the nose kind of blurs away. So I always like to try and like redefine it using nose masks. And I kind of like that one. So up next, this is where things differ for me, just depending on what I end up using. And I also kind of go a little bit backwards because I have been going from bottom to top. Here I do a little bit of tweaking because this is where I need the separators and I get a little bit of, I get this a little bit lost. I need to know which blush I'm going to use so that I know what I can use down below. And I think I'm gonna go for this blush, which is, again, by Peachy Fairy. I just like the all-overness, but I have been getting into this Boo Boo blush, but I really just... something about this one really gets me going because of all of the color it gives. And now I can go down. Usually sometimes I put this on, which is just like an under-eye mask, and that's just if I've got like really thick bottom, what you want to call it, like lash line, like under eyelid, but hers are pretty like tame, so I'm completely fine with that. So instead, I go ahead, I'm one of these people. I love the false, like the false shadow overlay, just because it goes so well with the lighting that I have in my cast, so I tend to use it a lot, and it looks really good in pictures. But now, we go back on our way up. The only thing I have to say that is bad about this blush, and it's why I alternate, is specifically with this Peachy Fairy one. If you look very closely, there's a weird, like, it doesn't blend with certain moles and freckles, which if I choose to give my Sim freckles, I tend to go for the Boo Boo blush because it blends better. But that is one thing, one downside with this blush, is that it kind of glitches a little bit if you've got some freckles. These freckles work fine, but that's because there's the same creator, and I think they were made that way. I also have these new freckles. I think it's because these are, like, further apart or something. But these ones seem to be fairly okay. I kind of want to give her some freckles. I am a absolute simp for freckles. I like these. I love doing the little light ones. Oh my god, yes. Okay, and then up we go. I do have a lot of eyelashes in the skin details. I used to use them a lot until I started getting into a lot of piercings and rings, and they always clash. So I only use these if I know my Sim is going to be wearing glasses, because you can't have eyelashes and glasses because they go on the same layer. But we're not going to be using them today because I'm not using glasses. And up we go up the list to our skin blends. So basically, you go from that, and it's just an all over face thing. And I always Like, it might be a problem now. I have always started going for this Ghost Putty one because I just look at it. And it's got so many things. I always tend to go for some of these first ones because she's not monolithed. The lip overlay. I like this lip overlay that it has. Like the original one. I don't like the other one. I like this one. But sometimes I do tend to go for this one a lot because I love the dimples. They're like subtle dimples, not like the ones that are literally like black dots on the cheeks when you try to get away with dimples in The Sims. And I love it so much that I think we're gonna go for it. And then up next is, again, more skin blend, but what I tend to do is just do a little bit of face detail work here with these face kits by, I think, Miko. Could be wrong. Don't quote me. See, here's also some dimples if you want just separate ones from the skin, and they do come like lighter and darker. And different kinds, like tinier ones. But what I tend to do is I use, hello? Papa? Oh, the OK-Ru one. That's the one I tend to go for. And then I tend to just do this and then go on like a little lower opacity. And a fun fact about this face kit is it also comes in the scars section if you have Get Famous, I think. So then you can do, so many. I always tend to go for a darker top lip. I tend to go for, I love an enhanced little like that Cupid's bow area. Oh my god. Here is, like, I started getting these eye masks, again, from that collab that I can't talk about yet, but these eye masks can be game changers, especially if you use this one and have glasses, because it looks like there's eyelashes. Bad news is, if you take screenshots, they are not 3D, it's just on the skin. Don't look too much into it. But I've slowly been getting into these eye masks. They're a little more alpha than I like to go for, but some of them can pass. I kind of like this one, so we'll go with that one. And then at the bottom, I tend to just, where's the lip? That one. It gives just a little under the lip shadow to, you know, realism. And now that we have her, I want to figure out her hair color. And her hair, I think, originally was like brown, but it's because they're custom eyebrows, they're blonde. I don't know. I think I'll go brunette because this is how I make a sim, and I make a lot of brunettes because I don't like a lot of the Sims blondes. Anyway, I have slowly started getting more into alpha eyebrows. Oh, they're so good. And then you can tweak them. I currently have some sliders so you can make your eyebrows like thicker or thinner depending on what you want. And I do tend to lean a little bit in the thicker sense. But come on, look at her. She's cute. But yeah, I really like this, I think. And of course, as every artist does, you want to just keep tweaking with your Sims a little bit. So I wanted to give her more of a chin because I felt like she was lacking. Here, I tend to go to face paint. And she naturally spawned in with brown eyes. And I tend to, if you've noticed, stick closely to what we originally roll when it comes to skin tone and eye color, because that's where I get that inspiration. Like, I don't want to have to constantly like, oh, I want to make this. Sometimes I do, but most of the times I'm just like, hey, what does the Sims Lords have in store for me? And I just kind of just go with that. Otherwise, I'm probably just gonna make every Sim with bleach blonde hair and green eyes because I don't have a problem. Nope. Anyway, back to the video. After making my alpha video, like my Sims in 3 custom content styles video, I have become obsessed with these Sim eyes. Like, it's all I use anymore. Both of them, but mostly this one. But I have been known to use this one too. But like, just look at them. And like, what kind of brown does she have? It's like the auburny one, so I will go with these ones because it's pretty much the same thing. Just Look at it. Oh my god. I love them so much. This is where I kind of jump all over the places. I just wanted to see what eyes we would use, but I'm not going to do the makeup yet because I want to make our base complete, basically, is what I'm doing. Where I want the eyes to be where they need to be, the eyebrows, and now I'm going to put on her eyelashes, which for me are in the glasses section. And my absolute favorite eyelashes are these Miko lashes, specifically part 4. They're just so good. But this is the base of our sim. Next, we're gonna go on to tattoos. Because I'm not giving her tattoos. There's just extra skin details in the tattoos section. So what I always tend to do is I use this Peachy Fairy lip gloss. It's always on the first watch because it just looks so good. And it basically makes your sim have like permanent lip gloss. And it looks so good too. And then up next, we scroll down to this little praline section. And I always go for this, I think it's Love You Like Crazy blush nose. It's not blush, it's highlighter. And it's just for the tip of the nose. And in this swatch means that it moves with the light, which is amazing. I'm not gonna not do that. Up next, we do hair. Just so I can get the general vibe of what she's going to be going for, because I base my outfits, accessories, style just on hair, because the hair obviously is like makes the person sometimes. So let's pick some hair and then that'll be what kind of style we go in. Okay, so I've got this hair because I decided that if this is a how I make my Sims video, I'm going to go where my heart leads me, and that's currently alt 2000s. And this hair screams alt 2000s. So, up next, now that we've got our hair, I tend to always go for accessories because that's the part that makes me the most excited, and because I immediately got inspired to go that way. Sometimes I get inspired to go clothing first. It all just depends on where the sim takes you, but I personally am going to go to accessories first. And now that I think about it, I have to go back to my skin details because I do plan on giving her glasses even though I didn't plan on it. So I might go with these, which is just like the most natural ones you can go for. And now we go back to the glasses section because I was inspired by the glasses that were on the thumbnail for this hair, which were like just these bitchy sunglasses. Bitchy little tiny judgmental sunglasses. Except I can't find... There we go. Those. Absolutely those. Come on. I'm gonna make them black for now. If we have an outfit that we change it, we change it. But until then, we go here. Now for piercings, oddly enough, I completely forgot this, is that even though I love these eyes to death, I tend to still put like little eye shines on them. But depending on if I give like a nose piercing or not, the eye shine will come in the tattoo section because this is where the nose goes. And also because of her eye shape, you don't really see it that much. You do see it, but not enough that I'm too worried because I do kind of want to give her some piercing. I forgot she's got glasses on and we can't do some of these piercings, so you can have that back. I think just a nose ring will do, and then we've got some earrings, and because it's the 2000s, I kind of want to go for like hoops. And then let's see what necklaces we've got. This I tend to just go down the line. I have this. We could give her that one because it's kind of like the original, or yeah, I think we might do that one. But now that we've got her accessories, I know what kind of makeup I want to go on behind the accessories, if that makes sense. Lips are always questionable for me because it already has that lip gloss and I love that lip gloss, but I kind of want to see if we can pull off that 2000s nude where it just looks like you have no lips whatsoever. pretty much like that, but I kind of want to see what other shades we can get it in. I kind of like this one, because then you can still, like, see the shape of the lips. Yes. And then here, again, is where another highlight comes in play. I tend to always lean this one, but it is strong, so I tend to go for this peachy shade, and then, depending on what the sim looks like, I dock it down a couple, but she looks fine. I'll dock it down 1. She looks fine, and I mean point. And now eyeliners. I am always more of a simple eyeliner gal, but she looks like a badass, so I'm giving her this one because it's got a little bit of feathering. And then eyes, you could listen, I can do makeup personally, I just don't do it a lot, if that makes sense. I'm not too bothered to make a look, you know, so I just don't. So now we've got all of her makeup done. I don't think there's really anything we can do in the hat accessories section. You could give her bangs. Could you imagine if I gave her bangs? Honestly, kind of slaps. Let's get into the outfit. And to be completely honest, my inspiration is lying in the jeans, because whenever I do like this 2000s, I always think of like low-rise jeans. I have even these too, but I'm specifically looking for these, my low-rise jeans. I love these oh so much. I do, when it comes to clothing, I am very one or the other, and I'm either high-waisted jeans or low-rise jeans, and since we're going like 2000s, I think low-rise is the way to go, and I don't have a lot of low-rise, so I think we're gonna stick with the ones she has on right now. And with that, let's get to a top. I'm not sure what I want to do with a top. When I envisioned 2000s, I didn't think of a top. So this is where I spend a lot of my time. But I always tend to go bottom to top because a lot of custom content sits at the bottom of your area. And you may be going, why don't you just filter by custom content? Because sometimes I just don't. Sometimes I might even use Maxis. So, who knows? Oh, that is a vibe. Oh, ma'am. I am on the floor, deceased. I've fallen and I can't get up. Come on. Hello? Now I'm gonna go to accessories because I thought about this when I was making her, about possibly giving her a chain, like a belly chain. And we're gonna do it in silver to match her other accessories. Come on. And then nails, I always tend to go for this chipped unless they're fancy. But again, this is me making my go-to sim, which is Edgelord. So I tend to go for this chipped nail polish by Aretha. And then shoes. Oh my god, they look so good with that. I just want to see what they look like with boots. I am a whore for boots. Give me a section. Give me a section? Second. Jeez. Yeah, no, I kind of like the Converse. But that is our sim. Like, that's basically what it looks like for me to make a sim. And then, obviously, you got your other outfits. But, we don't have time. And I don't want to. But I love her. She's so cute. Honestly, if I'm completely honest, if I was going to, I'd probably give her tattoos. And I always tend to just go for this one because it's just full body situation. And then, she's beautiful. She is the moment. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it helped you out in making your Sims. Just not telling you what to do, but hopefully giving you some inspiration and some pointers. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment what your favorite part of making a sim is. I think mine is probably skin details and clothing, but mostly skin details, oddly enough. But with that, I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye!